Planets are not gods. People, in their greed to seek miracles, because they want to change their situation, because they are just interested in change, they have started to worship planets as gods. And this is happening since centuries. People have concluded planets as gods because of astrology. It is because they have not understood astrology at all. Astrology says more than 100 planetary changes are needed to move your every moment. When the one moment is determined by so many planetary movements, it is clear that change or demand for change of your present moment is a foolish step. This is the reason why prayers make no sense. This is the reason why prayers are not answered. The changing pattern of your life can only be predicted. It cannot be changed. You have just minimum control over it. Astrology says that even your efforts are due to planetary conditions and planetary changes. Astrology is all about the future. It is about predicting the future, the changing moments of your life. When change is confirmed, then how can it be changed? When it is predicted, then how can it be changed? It means the prediction is wrong. Change was never part of astrology. People have presumed that change is possible. If it could change, then it goes against astrology itself. Life is a continuous flowing phenomena. It is unstoppable, unchangeable. This is also the reason why after so many thousands of years, after so much research and calculation, accurate predictions are not possible. This is because life is of the unknown. It is unpredictable. It is a continuously flowing journey. It is tremendously changing. Life is uncertain. After so many years of research and calculation of astrology, and after studying astrology, those people who believe in astrology still are bent upon to change their circumstances, to change their life, knowing at heart that the change is inevitable. It is unstoppable, but still they carry the stupidness to alter the change. It is for such stupid people that the wise men invented and gave the world planets as gods. This is the reason why planets are worshipped as gods. Special religious rituals are performed to please planets. It is the peak and height of being the most stupid. Planets are not gods. They are not there to hear you. There is no way by which you can please the planets. There is no way by which the planets will change their pattern or their rotation, so that you will get some goodies of life. Astrology is completely dependent upon the rotation of the planets. To change your circumstances would mean to stop and alter the rotation of the planets. Does it even sound sensible to you? Then how can astrology and the readers of astrology even say such a thing? That worship planets as gods and they will hear your prayers and your miseries will come to an end, or you will get your materialistic desires. Astrology can only be used so that you can put your best efforts with certain sense. To expect that planets as gods will change things for you is utter foolishness. People have been worshipping planets as gods. There are numerous rituals associated with planets. They have been given importance in many religions. They are worshipped in many countries. Even though they may not be direct part of the religion, this is called astrology. It is the worship of stars and such heavenly bodies as deities. The most common instances of these are sun and moon. They are maximum worshipped as gods. The Hebrew Bible contains repeated reference to astrology. It contains a stern warning against worshipping the sun, moon, stars, or any of the heavenly host. The Quran contains strong prohibitions against astrology. Islam is against the ideal worship. This is the only reason it is against worship of planets as God. Islam strongly believes in one God theory. Mostly all religions talk of one God theory, but they also simultaneously talk about planets as gods. Planets are not gods. They do not have any power to change your life situation. They can neither give wealth, children, misery or luxury, or any kind of happiness. Is God so poor that He has to have planets to put you in charge of? If this is so, then God is not required. Then God is less powerful. He can only have power then if planets and its powers are added to it. The either of one theory makes sense. God as one or planets as gods. But both theory cannot survive together. To me, God does not exist. And definitely planets as gods does not make any sense. No one, no rituals can change the results that happen in your life. No gemstones or sacrifice, no prayers can bring about any change. It is only you yourself who have some capacity to bring the change. When Maharishi Parashar invented astrology about 5,000 years back, his science was based on certain mathematics. He studied the 7 planets, the nakshatras, meaning the constellations, and gave predictions about future of life. But that went wrong. Something was missing. Something was to be added. And only on addition of Rahu, the north node of the moon, and Ketu, the south node of the moon, his study was complete. Rahu and Ketu are always opposite to each other in your birth chart. Rahu represents the materialistic gains and Ketu represents spirituality. As soon as Rahu and Ketu as planets were added, all his predictions were right. But Rahu and Ketu do not exist. They are imaginary planets. They are not there in the sky or in the orbit. This makes one thing very sure, that the 7 other planets, the Sun, Moon, Venus, Jupiter, Mercury, Mars and Saturn cannot do anything for you unless it is mixed with Rahu and Ketu, unless it is mixed with imagination. If these 7 planets were God, they would not have required 2 imaginary planets, 2 imaginary gods. Gods so mighty as the planets, as described and believed by people, would not have required something so imaginary as Rahu and Ketu. This would mean to say something like that God has powers, but it needs an other imaginary God, without whom the Almighty God is powerless. God does not require any other God, because if you remove Rahu and Ketu from your birth chart, which is the main basis of astrology predictions, all the other 7 planets seem to be a failure. They seem meaningless. Without Rahu and Ketu, all the predictions go wrong. This says a lot. This means all the other 7 planets do not have any control over you. And which has no control over you, which cannot do anything for you, definitely cannot be God. Because God is believed as one who makes things happen. God is seen as the creator, the caretaker and the destroyer. The greed to get a miracle, to get some magic happen. Man is worshipping each and everything which give hope. Planets as gods are one of his hope. Planets have no control over you. They are not gods.